So this little message is kind of a tov lo. For people that want to criticize me or think weird things about the fact that I take a prescription ADHD medication, and tov lo, whether you guys know who she is or not, I'm not going to explain to you who she is, but she's from Sweden. She was taking advantage of I wasn't announcing that when I went to Norway because I didn't think it was anything to announce. It wasn't a big deal to me. So I think she was guessing, or based on how I could perform, because some ADHD medications, they're stimulants, so they make you perform well. So does coffee. So does weight loss pills. So does Coke. So does Coca-Cola, excuse me. So does lots of things. Tobacco, chewing tobacco, alcohol. Those are all things that make people perform differently. So there's another thing called pacing oneself. And what is one's pace? That's something else that people try to talk about. So what I'm saying is there's several different ways that we can talk about how we can treat ADHD or ADD. First of all, we don't need to call it that at all. You can just look at all the people that smoke, drink coffee. They all have ADHD. If you read books about ADHD, those are all symptoms of ADHD. Self-diagnosis or people self-treating themselves using those products to boost their confidence in social situations, to make themselves work harder and longer at work. Those are all things that people do to counter the effects of what a doctor would call ADHD. And what it really is our society pushing each other to make a whole bunch of money in the economy. So that's why we take these medications and drink these drinks and smoke the cigarettes and do all these things. Now we're doing marijuana. So what people do not want, what many people do not want to understand, because it takes a while to understand this, just like it takes a while for the legalization of marijuana, is that ADD and ADHD is pretty much what you have if you smoke cigarettes or you drink coffee, according to a doctor, if you read the books. Those habits you have, they're not good for you. They are they're known to cause problems for many different reasons, just like everything else. So it's all how you want to look at it. So I came here today at this clay company, and there's a box of chewing tobacco sitting right on the counter when I walk in. Very, very, very strange. Maybe a bunch of people there chew, and they buy chew for everybody. I don't know. So what I'm suggesting is that also possibly, they could have heard that I take an ADHD medication. So there's a lot of Republicans, conservatives, that don't want to believe in these types of things that doctors are coming up with, because it affects their social habits, kind of, and they'll do anything to try to make people think things wrong about the fact that they take a medication or not. So what I'm going to say is this: you can call it a hyperactive sex life. You can have a very exciting sex life that can also counter the effects of ADHD, which is what I would prefer. But you have to be in a relationship to do that. Okay, so again, it's possible the bigger dogs die sooner because they're bigger. It also is possible the bigger dogs die sooner because it's harder for them to get into a real relationship because they're the bigger dogs. They're the ones that that are hard to come by, and especially for a bigger dog that's smart and wants someone that's a bigger dog with them instead of a bigger dog and a smaller dog barking at each other. So we have coffee, we have energy drinks, we have tobacco, we have prescription medications. There's a whole slew of things that people take to change their habits and to affect their habits to make the life we live in as a consumers more easier to handle. So I'm only talking about this because I just happened to notice that box of chewing tobacco in there, and I'm asking everybody, what would you prefer that I do? Chew tobacco, drink a whole bunch of coffee, and of course this all goes with other things too, like exercise is something, but exercise isn't the only thing. So there's lots of things that can make you feel, whole, feel good, feel energized. Lots of things can do that. So remember, a long time ago, people used to drink, the wives were the one that supplied the husbands with the caffeine. So, these things have changed. So, again, this is what is meant when a doctor deciding you want to have ADHD is a decision that you make. It's not something that's like that's written in the 10 Commandments. It's just a decision that you make. If you want to take a medication that helps you, it's a possibility for you. And again, so Tove Lo decided to get involved in it because she thinks she's some kind of drug perfectionist or whatever, because a lot of her songs talk about drug use. She thought she would kind of control the situation by controlling me by talking about the fact, suggesting it in her posts on Instagram. Well, this was a while ago, but once she suggested it, then anytime I talk about it, she then makes posts regarding that, so that people that are following her, when I do that, it brings it back to her, and then I look like the person with the problem. So it's all good. I catch on really quick.